My name is Sareti Gosmala. I'm one of the managers at Fantom Comics, and today I will be talking and interviewing Dan Mora. Again, as I said briefly before we went live, and as this recording started, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me. We only have a couple of people here for the event, but we have more people showing up. I don't know if the camera might not be able to show you who's actually here just yet, but I will show the crowd to the best of my ability, because I am in a setup where my laptop is sitting on a folding table, and then you might start seeing people behind me start sitting down for this event. But yeah, I guess even though I know who you are, and a lot of people will probably know who you are just because of all the work that you do, could you introduce yourself, to everyone as well?
Okay. Well, my name is Daniel Mora. I'm not the best speaking to people, so talking to people. So, so excuse me. And I speak Spanish. I don't speak English, so I do my best. So excuse me if I don't say everything correct. But yes, I've been working in comics for 10 years. I started working in Boom Studios. Then I did some work for Marvel, some covers, and then I started working on DC for Batman and other stuff. So that's it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, also no worries on speaking and stuff like that. I'm also honestly to be a pretty awkward speaker, so we're friends in that instance. No worries there, and also that's still great. And speaking of your stuff that you're working on right now, you're working on Shazam and some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, Power Rangers, Batman and Superman's World's Finest, and some, as you said, lots of different variant covers. Is there a franchise or superhero that you haven't worked on that you want to do? That includes drawing or also writing, like you've started to do recently.
I would love to work one day with Spider-Man, I think, with Spider-Man and Wolverine, stuff like that. Maybe a Transformers book one day or something like that. But yeah, and I like a lot of stuff, so I'd be happy drawing anything, I think.
That would be awesome. I know that you said you'd be happy and you'd like a lot of stuff, but would there be something that you try to avoid drawing at all if you could help it?
Yeah, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
You don't want
stuff
to
like
draw
that.
Buffy ever again?
No, I don't want to draw stuff like that. Mostly because you have to try to do portraits. So that's very difficult, and usually the comic has to be reviewed by several people. So everyone has different point of views, and so I think I don't like too much the process of working with a franchise like that.
I see.
Mhm.
And then do you have I don't know if this is something you can't answer, that's understandable, but I saw that you said that you did some variants for Marvel before, but now you haven't, and now you just mainly just do variants for DC and sometimes for Boom. Is this a contract thing, or is this just you're just busy, they're giving you a lot of work at DC and at Boom to stop you from working for any other company?
Yeah, that's my contract. I have an exclusive contract with DC. So when they offered me that, I told them that I was already committed to do some stuff for Boom. So they opened something in the contract, so I'm allowed to do some stuff only for Boom and not for other publisher.
I see. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, especially because of the amount of work that you do already end up doing anyway. I read in an interview about Shazam with Joe Grunswald from Comics Beat, and Mark Waid said that you're a very good storyteller, and that he gave you a lot more leeway with the script for Shazam. And now you've also written a story for Batman Brave and the Bold. Is that something that you want to do more for your future projects, where you're allowed to do a lot more with your art and let your storytelling go through your art, even if you have a writer partner?
It was very scary. I think it was one of the things that I was more scared in recent years because I don't know if I have the skills to write, but it was a fun challenge. So I think I'm good for now, but it will be fun if maybe in the future I can try again if,
Mhm.
to see if I can develop more those skills that I need. But yeah, it was fun, but it was very scary. And yeah, it's just I'm good for now, I think.
Yeah, you're more comfortable just doing the art. So like, is the Batman Brave and the Bold one like short story the last thing we're going to see from you for the foreseeable future, I guess, for now?
For yes, I think so. Yeah, unless DC or someone else asks me, and maybe I have to consider it. But I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, that's not something you'd like to do. Um, Another thing I wanted to ask about like that process, because he mentioned doing that with you for Shazam, is that something that you're only doing for Shazam? And then like the writing and drawing process with you and Mark Waid for Batman and Superman World's Finest is still the same? Or did he also start asking more of you when you're doing World's Finest as well?
I think it's he was planning to do the same, but Martin have too much time for he's writing a lot of stuff, so I think he doesn't have too much time with Shazam. So the solution that he found was to just throw me. He was going to throw the ideas for page one, for example. I want this and this and this, and so I can try to explain that, but without like a full script. So, but it is because he's doing so much, so that is like a solution. So he can send me the script earlier. So yeah, it's because of that. But if I think if he had the time, it will be the same as World Finest and the other scripts.
Okay. And then like to again, sorry, I'm like bugging you with the writing stuff, but I was like pleasantly surprised to see that you were both writing and drawing something in that story. Like how different was it? Just was it just more work to you, or did you approach the way that you were drawing differently because you had more creative control for that one shot?
It's I didn't know how to do it, so I thought that maybe I could just think and write and then send my ideas, but that didn't work. So at the end, I just started drawing and tried to explain my idea to DC with the drawings and not no with words. So that's the way I did it. But yeah, I think it was difficult because I was doing the two books and then I had to do the black and white pages.
Right.
So it was a lot for me. It was
Yeah,
fun,
that
but it was a lot.
yeah, that makes sense, especially with all the stuff that does come out that you end up doing, which I commend you for and is amazing. There's a lot
Thank
of
you.
work to be doing. Um, and I'm assuming that's why you did it in black and white, right? Because it's like the time crunch, or was it like, could you have asked
No,
for a colorist, or was that like also a themed thing that you wanted to do?
no, I think the first time they asked me for that, it was they asked me for a black and white because I think they were planning to use it in a black and white book.
I see.
But then I think the plans changed and they are using it in the Brave and the Bold. But I think they are going to use it in the future with in a black and white book because I think each issue of Brave and the Bold is going to have like a black and white story.
Oh, so it's gonna
So
be
so
collected together.
I think so. I think that's what I think. But yeah, at first it was just a black and white story.
do you prefer black and white or do you like to do color? Because a lot of the stuff that you do when it's just your variant covers and it's all your coloring, it's very bright and like nice to look at. Is using color something that you like to do, or are you okay more to do black and white work?
I like to do it, but I don't have the time to color. So if I have the right colorist, I am totally fine with just doing black and white. And I am a big fan of Batman black and white series. I have all the statues, I think. Well,
Nice.
not all the, no, no, not every of statues, but I have plenty. So
I
I
can
have,
see some of them in the back.
yeah, I have so much. Let me show you.
Yes, please
Okay.
do. Please do.
This is my, well, it's a mess, but I'm going to show you the black and white statue. Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, this is great.
I have a few in here.
This is amazing.
There's one.
Everybody
The
here
rest.
is definitely impressed. That's awesome. Do you think that they'll be able to get maybe one of your Batman black and white drawings into?
That's that's why I was so happy with the offer because I thought that maybe that could be a possibility someday.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh, I love all these
the
figures.
rest, there's the rest, and the rest of black and white is in here. Let me show you.
Oh, that's so cool. Is that
Yes,
also one
so
of your goals to like collect every single one of them?
not every single one, but
Just the ones that you think are cool looking?
yeah, the ones that I like most.
Yeah, that's nice. I love that. No, I wish that your art gets turned
Ah,
into a figure. That would be good.
sorry.
No, no worries. Oh, okay.
I'm here. I'm here.
No, I definitely I would love to own a black and white figure of your Batman, especially because of how he looks in that. What like could you tell us more about how that Batman like came to be in that style? Like was that something that like
Yeah,
some yeah,
I wanted to do a like something different from the from the Batmans that I have in the statues. I wanted, I don't know, something more robotic, something more like a tokusatsu inspired,
nice.
something more like a Power Ranger stuff. I like all of that, so I
Nice.
I try to design it thinking in that. Yes.
I love you're planning for the long game. I can definitely see DC turning it into a statue, and I know for a fact that people would buy it. That's like, no joke. So I'm here on the campaign for your figure creation of that particular Batman.
That would be like a dream come true if that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I would say that I would think that you're maybe like one of the face of DC. Um, because and I'm not just like trying to just sing you praises, even though I have been doing this the whole time. But like for example, the Dawn of DC bookmarks that have come out are all your artwork. Nobody else's. It's just yours. Which I mean, how do you feel about that? I think that's pretty great.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think so. I'm very happy with DC and they support me very much. So I'm very grateful with them for that.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
and I'm happy drawing every character they want. So
That's
that's
great.
cool.
A nice dream come true. Was this something that you envisioned for yourself when you like studied like art in college and stuff like that?
No, not at all. Because I am from Costa Rica, and in Costa Rica we don't have like a comic industry or something like that. So if you are an artist, maybe you can work as a designer, or you can paint pictures for galleries or stuff like that. But it wasn't even like a possibility to work with
Oh,
comics. It wasn't. So when I had the chance to work on comics, it was like very weird. Very, it wasn't like I didn't feel like it was something like real.
oh
I
no.
I quit my job and started working on comics with Boom, and it was very nice, but it wasn't something like it was something that I always dreamed, and it was more like a fantasy, something like that, but not like an actual like an actual goal because it wasn't like real for
Right.
living in Costa Rica. Mhm.
So there's not really like an indie scene even, or like, or people self-publishing work, because that was something, another thing I kind of wanted to ask
Uh,
you about.
there is now very little, but there is now, but it isn't something strong. And at least when I was younger, we tried to do it, but it wasn't like good quality. It wasn't very nice. It was like something just for fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was at the time I was studying, it wasn't something like I can't think if it will happen. But right now it's different. Because I think the difference is the social media and the
Yeah.
internet and everything. When I was studying, that wasn't that social media wasn't so important as it is today. So I think that's like a big tool. So you can post your work and it can be seen for a lot of people, not just people in your country. So
Yeah, that's definitely true. I've all like, I feel like that's definitely the case with a lot of different artists. There's a lot more international artists doing a lot of stuff, and like things go viral a lot easier, especially with newer social medias happening all the time. So that makes sense. And speaking of like self-publishing, or even just like doing your own stuff, is that something that you want to do in the future? I know you did say that writing is a lot for you, but like, say that your contract with DC ends, or like there's more wiggle room, or etc., is that, or you just have more time somehow, is that something that you want to do in the future, where you execute your own story, write it yourself and draw it yourself, or even collaborate with somebody with the writing, but it's like you're mostly your, well, I don't want to say mostly your idea, but like it's like your vision that you get to put to pen to page? Is that something that you want to do in the future?
yeah, I think so that will be nice. Something maybe if I have like some help
Mhm.
or yeah, I think it will be nice. I have ideas. I I have my characters. I have my stories, but it's only for me. So maybe I can. It will be nice if I can like put it on paper one day and try
Mhm.
to do something. Mhm.
Yeah. No, that would be great. I mean, I won't even, I can't even claim, will I be the first person in line? I think a lot of people would fight me to be first person in line to pick up your book, but I know for a fact you will have people to follow you to do that.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, of course. And for each book that you like work on, like, do you approach them differently in any sort of way, or is it kind of, you have a pretty rigorous, regular process to when you draw your and do your work?
Um, I uh, I don't think too much about what I'm going to do. I I I just try to do it on time. Uh, but uh, um, I think I do the different projects. I at the end I noticed that I do different stuff with each book, but it's not like conscious. It's something that when I uh, when I begin to understand the character and how it is, how it works, then I think I change my process depending of each character, but it's not something like conscious. It's I just at first I just try to finish the
Finish
work
the
on
work.
time.
I mean, yeah, deadlines do bring out whatever you can to do at the end of the day. So
Yes,
like,
and I have very and I have like I have two kids, my wife, and
right.
so yes, I have to spend time with them. So sometimes I just want to finish the work for the day so I can be with them. So yeah.
Then I'm assuming, I guess I, one thing I was curious about though is like, because you have like stuff when you have franchise stuff, like, you know, DC, etc., you have at least like an idea of what these characters look like and stuff like that. But when you worked on stuff like Hexed or Claws and Once and Future, like, were you involved a lot more with the character designing and how that like changes, or were there like, did they come to you with ideas of what they wanted and like there wasn't much that you had to do, or how was that working on the two different sides of the comic industry, I guess?
Hex was my first comic with
Mhm.
Boom, and they already had like 4 issues, so I had to try to follow what they did and add a new stuff. But with Klaus was different because Grant, he gave me like freedom, but at the same time he had like these specific ideas for some of the stuff. So at first it was very difficult to try to understand what he wanted. Uh, but at the end, I think I understand. So it get easier with the time. And then with Once and Future, I had like full freedom to design whatever I want. The writer, uh, he 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 never sent me like too much description. It was like I want a monster and it has horns and do whatever you want. So it was very funny, and it was yeah, I like it very much because I could do everything that I wanted. But sometimes that can be like tricky too, because if you have like complete freedom, it can get difficult. So it's I don't know, it's and with the Batman stuff for with the World Finest, Mark, I started changing the costumes for the heroes just because I wanted. They didn't ask me, so because I want to put a little of myself with the costumes
Right.
and the things that I like. So I changed little stuff with each custom, and they were totally fine with that. And now they when I have to put a new character in the book, they are eager to see what I'm going to do because they know I'm going to change it a little bit, or so that's part of the fun now to change some stuff.
Yeah, to leave your mark along the way, which each with each work. I'm assuming when you say it's a bit much when you have full creative control, is that it's hard to, is it like hard to rein yourself in because you have lots of different ideas, or it's like, is it
Yeah,
just
because when you have like complete freedom, sometimes your head can be in many places, and it can take you more time to to begin to drawing because you have like too many ideas. So that's why I think. Mhm.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Were there times where it's like stuff like Once and Future where you had more creative control to a degree? Was there any times where you gave input to the story itself, or was it only just the drawing that you like focused on?
I try not to do it because I respect very much the writer um, work, and but I think maybe one time like something like, hey, we already, I don't remember, but I think we want some feature like I make some comment for something, but I don't remember what it was. But it was like
Oh,
or it was in World Finance. I don't remember, but it's not something that I do usually.
I see,
Yeah,
I
I
see.
don't. I try just to draw
Just do the
what
drawing.
they ask me. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like for example, working like you said, Hex was your first work that you did with Boom. Was that also like your first book that you did in like the Western comics industry, like ongoing also?
The first that I did was the name was Quixote.
Mhm.
It but I don't remember the name of the publisher. Uh, yes, but it was it. But I just did one issue, and then I received the Boom Studios offer, so I took it. But yeah, that was my first book, Quixote, then Hex.
Okay, and then how, like, how does it feel like going from that? Because right after Hexed, was it Claws with Grant Morrison? Like right after it? How did that feel? Because I mean, working from like, working on one issue here, start helping finish another story, and then the third thing you're working on is with Grant Morrison. How does that feel jumping from like maybe, a hop step and then like a full long jump into headfirst into the
Yeah,
industry? How was that?
yeah, it was very. Uh, it, I couldn't believe it. I thought that maybe it was another Grant Morrison. Maybe it was another writer with the Grant
The
Morrison name.
same name.
Yeah, it was like Grant Morrison. That maybe it's another Grant Morrison. But I was very happy. I called one of my oldest friends and I called my dad
Yeah.
and shared the news. So I was very excited.
And like
It was
how
an
okay.
important day.
I mean, I would imagine. How did that come to be? Did like the people who worked at Boom like match you up, or did he like request you from seeing your artwork? Do you know?
I think they were talking to work together for something, whatever Grant wanted to do.
Mhm.
And when he had the idea, they sent him several artists so he can pick one. What the one he thinks will work better for him, and he chose me. Yeah,
Yeah,
so, yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah. I
uh
was very proud of that.
yeah, of course. And like, is that how it usually goes with like other indie books that you're like you'd work on? I guess I wouldn't call Power Rangers indie though, but like for example, for Once in Future, were you picked by Kieran Gillen, or or did they match you up at Boom, like just the two of you, or like how did that end up
I
happening?
I'm not sure because I just received like an email with the hey, do you want to draw this book with this guy? And I always say yes when I was with, with Boom, or I say yes because it's my work.
Right,
But
yeah, you need to pay the bills.
yes, yeah. But I'm not sure how it worked. I know the Grant Morrison story because I asked specific,
Right.
but I didn't ask again for the rest of the books. I
Mhm.
think maybe the at Boom they think on me and they think with this editor and they just try to match us. So,
Discussed. one of
mhm.
one of the former people who used to manage Fantom Comics actually used to work at Boom, so I might just bug her and ask her for insider information and see what she tells me.
Okay.
Also, like, is there any creator in the future that you'd like to work with, like dream creators, or have you already kind of hit that with people like Grant Morrison and Mark Waid?
Uh, I know there's a lot of excellent writers, and I've been blessed with the chance to work with so many good people. So there are too much. Right now, I'm not sure which one is the one that I like prefer, something like that. But if the story is cool, or if the concept is cool, I'm happy working with anyone. So maybe I can be happy someday I do something with Frank Miller, something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Right, but this, but yeah, maybe.
I mean, speaking of Frank Miller, I heard there was a story where he saw you drawing. I mean, I think I heard the story at C2E2, but the people who are here with me did not hear the story. So could you share your Frank Miller story with the people in the story
Sí,
on
sí.
Facebook, please, if you could?
Yes, no, I was in New York, in Comic Con New York, and I was doing some commissions, and I feel like someone staring at me and my back. So I paused and look at him to say hi, and it was Frank Miller. He was looking as, and he was like, ah, that's a really cool drawing, and can I have one or something? Something that like that. Or so I was. He didn't know who was I. So, but I was very impressed with him, and he liked my work. He was with his people, and they were like, hey, we have to move, and he said that no, no, he wanted to speak to me,
Oh,
and he wanted me to show him the book that I was doing, and he was very nice.
oh,
So
that's
it was
awesome.
a good experience.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to work with him, just like, reconnect another time just so that actually could happen. I think that would be great too. And also he has his like Frank Miller Presents like publisher now. So that's maybe something you could do in the future. Who knows? Is that something that you could like, does your contract stop you from, sorry, if you can't answer that question, that's totally fine. But like, does your contract stop you from like, say that like someone's like, hey, can you like, work on the story with us, please? And it doesn't even have to be like, because I understand DC being like, maybe you can't work on Marvel books or something like that. But like, just for like indie publishers or anything like that, if someone approached you with a story and you like wanted to work on that, does like the contract, say that like you can't do that? Or is it like a time thing? Is that something you can get into? If not, that's okay.
I can't, I just can't do stuff for DC
Yeah.
and some limited stuff for Boom.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do. I will have to when my contract ends to talk with them to see what we can do. But no, I can't.
I see. I see. Well, hopefully you'll be able to do stuff. Or you know what? For some reason, Frank Miller comes to Boom or DC and does something, and then you can just do something with him. Then
Maybe.
that would be fun. One of like the other questions I also wanted to ask was like when you said that you had going back to like your own work and stuff, like maybe in the future doing your own work, would it be your like sci-fi superhero like stuff for your indie stuff, or would you do fantasy? I know that you like Power Rangers and like your mechas and stuff. Would that be the type of story you'd want to do, more sci-fi oriented action story, or would you let yourself do
I
something differently?
I think I like sci-fi. I like horror.
Okay.
I I like just action. I am maybe I'm not going to do like a love story or something like that, but I'm open to everything else. I also like very much the animals, so something with animals would be very nice. Or yes, it's not like I just think on something. I did the Batman with the Tokusatsu inspired because it was an idea that I had for a few times, but it's not like that's the only thing that I wanted to draw in the future.
Right.
But yeah. I think I would like to to do like a mix with all the stuff that I like when I was a kid.
Mhm.
So robots and time travel, stuff like that, science fiction, monsters, dinosaurs,
Yeah,
all of that. I think I will have to put that together and try to do something.
well, that would be fun. That would be great. And then I guess like one of my last questions for you, I guess, or I'll say last, but like we do have some time, but I did want to open it up for other people to ask you questions also. But what are some of the like things that you are like reading and watching right now that you're excited about, that you've been enjoying, and maybe even pull inspiration from?
I was watching an anime. The name was what was the name? Was Blue Lock was the
Oh,
name.
I, I actually really like that series. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, it's so very cool. So I like it. I like everything about it. So
Are we going?
But I finished it, so I'm sad because it's over there.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm not watching too much right now. I don't know. One of the things that I saw last year that I really liked it was Primal, I think.
oh yeah.
Primal season 1 and season 2. Yeah,
That was
that was very nice. But reading books, I have a sort of stuff with Batman and Superman with DC, but like reading, I'm not reading anything right now. Not from Boom, from Marvel, from DC. I'm not reading
nothing. No
anything.
time.
No.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, before I give away the microphone to somebody else, I do want to ask you about Blue Lock very quickly because do you watch sports series in general, or was Blue Lock like a one time that you watched soccer anime or sports
I
anime?
just I don't watch sports anime. It
Uh-huh.
was I think Tsubasa. It was Captain Tsubasa was one of my childhood uh, like animes,
Uh-huh.
but that's it. And then I was boring, so I was changing, and I thought that maybe that would be nice, and it was super cool. Yeah, was the best decision.
Okay. Well, maybe one day I will convince you to watch other sports series because I love soccer animes. It's one
Tell,
of my
tell me one
okay.
name. I can put it.
Okay. One
What's the
that's
other one?
airing right now is called, or finished airing recently, is called Oashi. So Aoashi, which is about a boy who works like plays in a club team. So it's not high school soccer, but he is trying to become a professional soccer player. One of my favorites of this season. And then another is Giant Killing, which is about adult soccer players trying to not get regulated in Japanese soccer. But yeah, I sports anime is one of my favorite genres. So Blue Lock was lots of fun because I got a lot of people to watch sports anime because people don't usually watch it, but because the premise is so crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Who
yeah.
wants to see, Hunger Games soccer? So why not?
Yeah, it's like what was the name of this Netflix show? Los Juegos de Calamares en español. And I don't remember the name in English.
Uh-huh.
Or
I mean, if
was
you could please send me the email, even in Spanish, I'll try to, Google it myself or get my coworker to get it for me. But is it like about like soccer? Like, is it just like a?
No, I think Blue Lock is like a mix of that show that I don't remember the name
Okay.
with soccer.
I
Yeah,
see. I
but
see.
yeah, but I don't remember the name.
Okay. You do realize now you have to send me this email so I can go watch the show on Netflix also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was the show that they have to they are like all in a room that they have to play some games, and they have to the one that survives is going to receive a lot of money at the end.
Oh, okay. Squid Game?
Answer that's
Oh,
one, that one.
yeah, but
It's like that with soccer, yeah,
yeah, but that's
something
true.
like that.
Actually, yeah, you could say it is like Squid Game and soccer. I have seen. I need to finish watch. No, did I finish watching Squid Game? I think I did actually. But still, I'll watch season 2 when it comes out. So, will you be doing that? I'm assuming. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yes.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to open the floor for people who want to ask questions. Is there someone who wants to do so? Okay, yeah, you can go first. You're gonna have to come up here to use this microphone. Yeah.
So I was wondering, hello,
Introduce yourself.
hi, my name's Xavier.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Xavier.
too. Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
So I was wondering if there are any like artists that kind of like inspired, like comic artists that kind of like inspired you, or that you kind of like try to like be like, or like base your work off of.
Yeah, Greg Capullo,
Oh yeah.
Sean Murphy,
Mhm.
Mike Mignola,
Yeah.
Frank Miller, I think, well, Chris Samney.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people, but those
Uh-huh.
are the ones that I can think right now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Greg. I had a Batman
Hello,
black
Greg.
and white question, three-parter. What's your favorite Batman black and white story? Which one were you most surprised, or which artist were you most surprised to see do a Batman black and white story? And which artist do you think doesn't have a statue yet that demands one? That should have one.
Yeah. Well, I think my favorite is the one with this writer. I'm the worst with the names, all with everything. My memory is not too good. Um, Alan Moore. Alan Moore. Yes, it's Alan Moore. I think so. It's a black and white when Batman and the Joker, they are like they are practicing because everything is like a show, like a big show. Nothing's real, so they are practicing the fights and everything, and it's well, it's a cool black and white, and I don't know, maybe. Not sure. I'm not sure who deserves. Maybe Jorge Jimenez deserves a black and white. I think so.
Jorge Jimenez's artwork is gorgeous. It's true. Yeah, Jake. Oh, this is Jake. He's the other co-manager at the store.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
I work here too. Our coworker Juan, who spoke with you earlier in Spanish, he wanted me to ask, do you have any Spanish language comics that you really like right now? We're looking to maybe get more Spanish language comics in our store, and we need some recommendations.
Español, Spanish. Let me see. Most of the stuff that I have is in English because I don't have like like mm, no, sorry, no, all the things that I can think. Maybe it's like Black Sat or something like that, but that's like French, I think. It's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't know. I'm sorry.
That is all right. Actually piggyback off piggyback. You know what? Anyway, everyone understood what I was trying to say. Anyway, based off of that question, is there like, would there be any like comics you'd want to do just in Spanish first, or would you want to do stuff where like the Blue Beetle comic that came out recently, both came out in English and in Spanish at the same time? When you make a comic in the future, hopefully, is that something that you'd maybe want to push for so it gets like published in both languages at the same time, or do you just not have like a feeling towards it either way?
I never thought about that. Um, yeah, in Costa Rica, most of the people try to read or try to speak in English, so I see it like something good to try to do more stuff in English for us, so we can learn. But so it's nice when I see one of my books in Spanish, maybe in Mexico, when I have see the translation of the books in Spanish. But I never thought of that. You're saying that maybe first in Spanish. It will be nice, but it's not something that is not like the main goal for me, I think.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Do you have any other questions? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Leah, and I wanted to know,
Hi.
how did you get into comics? Like, did you read them when you were a kid? How did it come about?
Yes, my dad was like a big fan of movies and comics, so he gave me my first comics, Spider-Man and Batman. So those were my first comics, and I used to watch all the cartoons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. So I grew up with a few comics because we didn't have comics in Costa Rica, but my dad managed to find a few books. So that's I have like 4 comics. Then when I was like a teenager, I found a store that had a few Spider-Man books with the Ultimate Spider-Man books. So I started to reading those books, and I was like very impressed with this new Spider-Man. And I like it very much. So that was like my second experience with the comics. And then I started reading online, and yeah, that was. Then I received the offer when I was like 24 years, something like that. I was a graphic designer in a newspaper, and I was working happy, doing illustrations and doing graphic design. And when I received the offer for Boom to work with them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Um,
Hi, I'm Brian.
Hi,
Uh,
Brian.
Hey, I've been a fan of yours for years, and I was wondering if there's any place you can buy your original art. Like,
Okay. Yeah, there's this don't remember the name. I think it's Knockout Comics. It's a new page in Instagram. They
Okay.
have like most of my pages. I'm going to send more to them so they can sell it, but just through them. That's Knockout Comic Art, I think. Knockout Comic Art is the name.
not house.
Knockout
I'm
Comic
just
Art.
looking it up right
I'm,
now.
I'm, I'm Google. I'm trying to look this up. If you could put
Alright.
it in the chat also. I
Oh
can
yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
I will go and
Thank you.
share it with everyone. Then I guess I actually have another question based off of what you told me with the fact that you worked in graphic design and then moved to comics. Like, did you have to adjust how you drew, or were you always drawing people? Because graphic design work is like a lot different from sequential artwork.
Yeah, I always like to draw heroes and characters, but I was working as a graphic designer because it was the thing that I can do for a living. So yeah, and I do my fan arts and stuff like that in my free time.
Yeah, I mean that if for fan art, then like what was your favorite character to draw? Was it Spider-Man? Or I remember seeing on one of your Facebook pages you drew Daredevil once.
Yeah, I always begin drawing maybe Spider-Man and then Batman. That those two are the first ones that I start drawing every time. But it changed. Maybe sometimes was Deadpool or Wolverine, Punisher, Daredevil, Wonder Woman. But yeah, my favorites are Batman and Spider-Man. But I have a bunch of other heroes that I like.
That's awesome. And then speaking of Batman, I forgot that Greg and I talked about this briefly, and I did want to bring this up. So what's with the Nick Cage drawing? I would like to hear the story behind the Nick Cage and the Batman Superman World's Finest that was drawn by you recently.
It was very fun to do because we didn't have idea that he was going to appear in the movie.
Right.
My editor, no, we just we tried to do like one parent cover with a celebrity. So my editor thought that it would be nice to have Nicolas Cage in the cover. So I was doing it, and I have like I didn't have a rush to finish it because we have time. But then the news leaked from the movie that Nick was going to appear in the Flash. So my editor wrote me that I need to finish the cover in 2 days because of that they wanted to push the cover and release it earlier. So though I had to be quick and finish it quick. But yeah, it was like that. We didn't know at first. Then it, it was fun that
Just a fun coincidence that worked itself
yeah.
out.
Yeah, something like that.
I know, I love that. I love to hear that. And then speaking of movies, because I've been obsessed and we've talked about Spider-Man but not mentioned it. Have you seen the new Spider-Verse movie?
Yeah, yeah.
What,
It's a
what
very
did you
cool movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. I think it was amazing. Who was your favorite spider person that was introduced, or just in general from those movies?
Miguel, yeah.
He was great in the movie.
Spider-Man 2099. This is the best.
Yeah, he
It,
was,
it was my first favorite from the beginning, even when without the Spider-Verse movie.
right.
Yeah, Miguel O'Hara has been it's a very cool character for me.
Yeah.
So him in the movie is awesome, and he being like this big and bad and everything is so cool. I like it very much.
Yeah, the redesign Chris Anka did for the for the movie for this one compared to his end credit is a big jump, but it was really cool. And many people did end up loving it a lot.
Yeah, it's completely different, but
Yeah.
but it's an amazing redesign. Yeah, he
Yes.
did an amazing job.
Would you, if you're,
What's your favorite?
oh, my favorite? It's kind of, it was hard, but Hobie, definitely, I loved him a lot. Spider-Punk. I just thought,
Yeah,
I
Spider-Punk is
just,
very cool.
it's very amazing. But I do
I think
also have,
Hobie is my second.
yeah, yeah, it's like,
I think
the
Hobie is my second. Yeah, it's very good.
the punk aesthetic and also all the piercings. But I do love Gwen and Miles. I have a very big soft spot for them. And then
That's the cool about that movie. Everyone is
it looks
so
very
cool.
good.
Everyone, yeah.
And then I think my other like favorite side characters were definitely like Sun Spider because of her and like the wheelchair and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool, especially because she was like a fan submitted like contest character that ended up being in that movie, which I thought was really cool. And then also Margot, she was great. The spider bite, even though we saw her very briefly, she was lots of fun. Would you try
Yeah,
to
that's
get a
cool.
spider character? Have you designed your own Spidey Sona before?
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't do anything.
Would you do it in the future, maybe, even if it's not official, just like your own, like this is Dan Mora Spider-Man?
I saw that some people were doing that on Twitter, but I didn't understand why or how was working. I don't know too much about that.
Yeah.
What's the thing? You have to draw
So-
yourself as Spider-Man?
So yeah, and I guess this is a good advertisement for people watching our Facebook Live, but we're going to be doing a Spidey Sona event ourselves at the store actually. But basically you just create your own spider character. So like, okay, you're obviously, your own OC, your own original character, but also like what type of spider powers would they have? What type of outfit would they have and stuff like that. So the idea is that and also at our event at the store, we'll prompt people, be like, hey, like what type, do you want a list of different spiders you could get bit by, or different types of spider powers maybe, or what type of way do they fight crime, how does their outfit look? The idea is just like a spider themed hero that would be like Spider-Man, but not exactly just straight up Spider-Man. I know like one of my friends wants to be like a wolf spider, so it's going to have a theme of the wolf spider. Or I know for myself personally, I want to do a brown recluse spider, so like my character could like use neurotoxins, because bites from a brown recluse spider could make you hallucinate. So I thought it would be fun to make a character who is a Spider-Man that could make people hallucinate when they bit them or something like that. So fun times.
Yeah, sounds fun. Yeah, maybe I think I will do a mix with the bat and the spider. I think.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be good. Well, hopefully then, now that you know what a Spidey Sona is, maybe in the future we'll see a Spidey Sona from Dan Mora. That would be great, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah. It is 8 o'clock now. I just wanted to ask like really quickly if anyone still had any questions they wanted to ask. Okay, it looks like we're good. Was there anything that you wanted to promote that you're doing in the future, Dan, or anything that you wanted to say before we sign off for today?
No, just thank you so much for taking the time to stay here with us and for talk to me. It was a pleasure, and I'm very happy to to meet all of you, and wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you so much. And definitely we'll be pressing everyone to pick up your stuff. And we have a lot of the different books drawn by Dan. And we have the bookmark still, if you want to pick up a bookmark with his artwork on it. But yeah, thank you so much. And I hope you have a good day. It is 8 p.m. for us here, but I think for you it's like 6 o'clock or so.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
too
yeah.
late. So
No, not too late.
that's good. I'm happy to hear that then. I hope you have a good day. And once again, thank you so, so much for doing this with us. We're very honored and very like blessed to have you here with us. And I know that people were very excited to hear about the fact that you were doing this. So thank you once again. And it was nice to see you. Will you be coming to any like cons in the East Coast?
Not sure. I'm going to be in New York. That's the only thing.
New York Comic Con?
Yeah, yeah, that's the only one for this year.
Okay, well, maybe I'll see you. Maybe I'll go to that and I'll say hi in person once again. But that's great. And I'll tell people, you know, hey, if you haven't thought about going to New York Comic Con, they should definitely go to say hi to you and stuff like that. And hopefully you make all the money there as well, as you should at cons. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, have a good one. And
Have a good one. Yeah.
bye
Bye.
bye.